Hello, my name is Jean Paul Achadi, and today I'll be presenting the process improvement for my A3, which is also known as the meeting notes template. So let's get started. So current state, basically what this is going to address is the amount of time that it takes for our meetings to take place. Where I currently work, it's a construction office. So we talk about many things. Things happen all the time and they involve several parties. So we hold these large meetings, which involve everybody and usually just end up taking longer than necessary. So if you look at our current state, what you can see is that we have a meeting start time, but then whoever is presenting the meeting ends up creating some type of template or some type of notes for us to kind of track everything that goes on during the meeting. So that being said, there's no template for the meeting notes currently. That's the main thing I'll be addressing in this A3/PDSA. But as you kind of move through the current state, you'll see that the meeting begins, and then essentially what happens is that we jump from project to project, showing that there's no standard information flow. And then by the end of it, we don't really save the template anywhere in particular. Sometimes we'll print them out and hope people just hold on to these printouts most of the time, but there's no standard location for these notes. So it creates a lot of confusion and overall just keeps people in this loop of not exactly knowing what needs to be happening. So starting with the PDSA, this is very high level. So for the plan, we'll be creating a meeting template for use in the meetings. The do part will be using this new meeting template during the meeting. And then the study we'll be measuring the time that it takes to start a new meeting, and we'll be gathering feedback on use of the new template as we'll kind of be using this template to drive the flow of information throughout the meeting as well. Then we have our act, and basically that'll be determining whether or not we want to continue using this template or if we'll update it and see how it could be used for future meetings. So for the plan step, main team member, that would be me. Input would be needed from ownership and managers. They're the kind of the main ones driving this, and they're the main ones involved with the meeting as well as involved with the outcome of these meetings, and they end up taking care of all the action items that come out of these. So it's very important that they're aware of what's going on. And kind of the current issues that we're facing with this process, we have over processing, employee genius, time, and creating of a new template. Well, the creating of the new template is what we're going to do to solve the issue. But you have over processing, employee genius, and time that we're going to be trying to resolve. So as we move forward, the do portion is consulting with the manager and the owners, showing them the new template, and then we'll also be using the new template during the meeting. And in order to do this, there's a step here that it's pre-filled. So that means that whoever is doing the meeting organization and will be taking the notes during the meeting will actually have to meet with the people who are going to be discussing the topics. That way we have a pre-filled list showing what topics, and also show kind of a list, giving us a good way of setting an order for these topics to be discussed. And then this person will be opening the template at the start of the meeting. And then study, we'll be measuring the meeting startup time. We'll also be just gaining feedback from the participants, see how they felt about it. Was it a good flowing meeting template? Is there something that we need to add in there? Is there too much information? Should we remove some sections? And then kind of move forward while improving this template as needed. And then finally, you have your act portion, which is using this template in future meetings if it's something that we desire to do. We'll also be training employees on the new template. So we'll show them, hey, this is where it's at. This is how you can use it. Feel free to use it for your meetings and change it as needed. The idea is that this template is something that can be modified to be easily used for a number of different types of meetings, whether it's very in-depth for something that's one project and touching the different things, or if it's all of the different projects and just kind of going high level. Could probably still use the same template is what I'm aiming to do. So yep, we got that. And then expected results. I've actually done this before with a different company, so I kind of have a little bit of an understanding of what might be coming out of it. But what I'm initially seeing is there will be a removal of startup time waste. And when I say that, meetings will be basically starting instantaneously. There will be no more of that time of creating a template, figuring out what projects to put in there. It'll all be pre-filled. We'll know what to talk about, and we'll know what we are talking about during the meeting and before the meeting. This will improve the meeting flow, meaning that we'll know again what to talk about, when to talk about it, and how in depth we really want to go. We can even skip things and kind of just show that we skipped something, but it will be documented. And then hopefully eventually we'll get there. It's a reduction in overall meeting time. Usually when you put to use these new type of templates, what you'll come across is that your meetings may be actually running longer than what you're used to, just because you're kind of running through pretty much every action item more in depth. You're not forgetting about things to bring to the table. Everything is on the table. Everything is discussed. So yeah, and that's what I'm intending to do, intending to put forth this new use of a new template and really just standardizing our meetings so that the information flows better and there's a better result for everybody. Everyone knows where to look for the notes. Everyone kind of understood what we talked about, and just overall improving clarity from these meetings. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.